Two teams, one goal, to reach the postseason. The Orioles stand a half game in front of the Indians in the AL wildcard race, and just 3 behind the Rays for the second wildcard berth. It's an opportunity for both teams, and the Tribe hopes to carry over the momentum from Mike Aviles' heroics in Motown yesterday. Indians ace Justin Masterson takes the ball in Game 1 of this crucial 3-game series next on Sports Time Ohio. It is good to be back home in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, here at Progressive Field. The Indians have played 15 of their last 18 on the road. Now they open up a 3-team homestand with the first of 3 against the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Not only is it good to be back home, not only is it a big homestand, but 3 big games, because Baltimore and the Indians are neck and neck in this wild card race, trying to chase down either Oakland or Tampa and get themselves into the playoffs. And no doubt about it, yesterday, as bad as the road trip was, what a huge win the Indians were able to secure in Detroit.
Well, and it took one swing of the bat, because what happened, they ended up walking 3 guys in that inning before Mike Aviles ends up delivering a big grand slam home run. It was the first of his career, and they certainly needed that, because they have been struggling offensively. When you look at both these teams in the last 18 games, the Indians have had better pitching, the Orioles have had better offense. The Orioles lead the league in home runs, but they've also given up the most. So the Indians are hoping to come home on this 3-team homestand and get a little offense going and get some home field magic.
Well, somebody's got to hit the accelerator, because both Baltimore and Cleveland have sort of been waffling along since August the 12th. Somebody's got to get hot and make their move. We'll see if it's the Tribe. The play-by-play is straight ahead. On this Labor Day, hope you're happy, hope you're safe wherever you're watching here this afternoon. Sit back and enjoy the Indians and the O's. The play-by-play is coming up next. We welcome you into Progressive Field on this Labor Day 2013. The Indians and the Baltimore Orioles. Tribe has taken the field behind Justin Masterson, looking for his 15th win of the season. Let's take a look at Buck Showalter's starting 9 for Baltimore. Brian Roberts will lead it off. He'll be the DH today. Then Manny Machado, what a season he's having. The talented third baseman bats second. Chris Davis leads the American League in home runs, second in RBIs. He'll bat third. Then it's Adam Jones in the cleanup spot, followed by the switch hitter Matt Wieters. Nick Markakis in right field bats sixth. J.J. Hardy seventh, Nate McLouth eighth, and Alexei Casilla will bat ninth.
It'll be Justin Masterson on the mound for the Indians. It'll already be his 29th start. He has logged 188 in the third innings. That's fourth most in the league. So he has been a workhorse for the Indians this year. His record 14-9. Has a 3.49 ERA, just 154 hits. He has struck out 188, and he has been very good for the Tribe. In his career, 6-4 against Baltimore. He made one start earlier this year. He went 6 in the third innings, gave up 6 hits and 6 runs in that ball game. He walked 1 and struck out 7. At home, he is 8-3 with an ERA of 3.06. Let's check out the Kia Indians defense behind Masterson. It's Brantley in left, Bourne in center, Stubbs in right, Chisenhall at third, Cabrera at short. Kipnis is at second, Swisher at first, Santana behind the plate.
Alfonso Marquez will call the balls and strikes. The crew chief Ted Barrett at first base. Mike DeMuro at second, Scott Berry down at third. Ready to go here this afternoon. Baltimore is a half game in front of Cleveland in the wild card standings. Baltimore stands 3 back of Tampa. The Indians are 3.5 back. Also tied with New York. The Yankees just 3.5 off the pace as well. So very jumbled and a lot to keep track of as we go down the stretch. But first and foremost, you have to win. Masterson's first pitch is outside, ball 1. Brian Roberts, switch hitter. And the veteran takes a pitch down and in. It's 2-0.
Yeah, Roberts was out of the lineup the last time we went and played Baltimore. He was on his way, working his way back.
Last year he spent 2 different stints on the DL for Baltimore.
That has been his problem his whole career. Has been injuries.
Last year he had a concussion, then a right groin strain, and then hip surgery. Full count.
He doesn't want to swing it, does he?
Doesn't seem to be real interested in turning the bat loose. Masterson ready with the payoff pitch. And it's up high, ball 4. Manny Machado coming up right here for Baltimore. He's hit in 5 straight games. Our keys to the game brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital. Keep them in the park. Orioles can definitely drive the ball and drive it deep. And for the Indians, you can't wait till the 9th inning. That's what they did yesterday. It worked out because of the tremendous pitching they got from Danny Salazar in the bullpen. But need to try and score early. Cabrera will go to second. There's 1. Kipnis will try to turn 2. Not quite in time.
Yeah, just was not hit hard enough for Cabrera to get it over to Kipnis enough, and Kip couldn't get enough on the throw to get Machado at first base.
Stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio Buick dealers. They are the home run leaders in all of baseball. Chris Davis, 0 for his last 7. Takes up high, ball 1. Davis, the former Texas Ranger, came into his own when he was moved over here to Baltimore. He also has 38 doubles on the year.
Davis is a guy, he was giving Cabrera a run in that first half with the batting average, with the home runs, with the RBIs. His average is down a little bit under 300, but he has had an outstanding year. When you look at 122 ribbies, you have the month of September to go, 47 home runs.
He was the American League Player of the Month in April, and he hit .348 with 8 doubles and 9 home runs.
He's had 7 doubles and 9 home runs in 4 months, 4 different months this year. This is a guy, it doesn't look like he swings it hard, but boy, he puts a smooth swing on the baseball. He's got that slight uppercut and can hit it a long way.
Last year, he got hot right at the end of the season, propelling Baltimore into the playoffs. He hit home runs in 6 straight games from September 26th through October the 1st. The 2-2. Got a piece of it. Adam Jones waits on deck. Just underway. Snap throw over, but Manny Machado has 6 steals on the year. And a foul back again.
He's falling off some pretty good pitches. That was a good slider coming in on his hands. Here was a guy that they traded for. They got him from the Texas Rangers. Him and Hunter, the guy coming out of the bullpen for Koji Uehara.
Lays off a high pitch and a full count. In the air, center field. In comes Bourne. Out goes the shortstop Cabrera. And Asdrubal is there to make the catch. Actually, that's Lonnie Chisenhall with that shift on, who got out there to make the grab. And 2 down with Machado back to first. So a big out. But you still have Adam Jones to go, and he's no slouch. He's hit .295 on the year. 28 home runs, 98 runs batted in. Thought it was interesting when you think of the talent that Baltimore has had over the years in the outfield. I think back to when you were playing, Ken Singleton and guys like that, and then you go to
Al Bunbury, and you've got, have had a lot of guys.
But Adam Jones is just the second Baltimore outfielder to hit 25 or more homers in 3 seasons, and that's he and Frank Robinson.
Yeah, you're right. And here was another guy that came over in that Seattle trade, him and Tillman, for Bedard, the left-handed pitcher, Eric Bedard, who's now in Houston, and this guy is starring in Baltimore.
1-1 pitch. Really jammed him. Completely ate him up. Cabrera tags the bag just ahead of the aggressive sliding Manny Machado for the 3rd out here in the inning. Baltimore does not score. The Indians are coming to bat. Back here in Progressive Field, the Indians ready to take their turns against Bud Norris in Baltimore. Here are the starters for Terry Francona and the Cleveland Indians, brought to you by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Michael Bourne, Nick Swisher, Jason Kipnis, followed by Carlos Santana, Michael Brantley, who has hit in 6 straight, then Asdrubal Cabrera, Jason Giambi, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Drew Stubbs rounded out.
Well, it'll be Bud Norris now on for the Orioles. He's made those are his overall numbers on the year with the Astros. He's 3-1 with the Orioles in his 33 innings, 38 hits, giving up 4 home runs. He's had a lot of base runners because he has walked 18. He's a guy that's been able to pitch out of a lot of trouble. Now, it's his first start against the Indians. Hopefully, they'll get those base runners and have an opportunity to drive them home.
Michael Bourne leading it off, just 2 for his last 12 at the plate. And a pitch outside, ball 1. Bourne fouls it away.
The Indians trying to come home to some home cooking. On that last road trip, Matty, 14 runs scored and only 2 runs combined in innings 1, 2, and 3. So they just couldn't get anything going early in a ball game, and hopefully they can do it here.
Upstairs with it. Chop foul. Michael Bourne, his batting average down at 265. He was at or around 300 most of the season, but he's been fighting it here. Last 24 games played, he has 22 hits and 101 at bats.
Well, he was getting a lot of infielder hits earlier, and you just wonder if he's tired out. You know, he did that a little bit last year.
Swing and a miss. Bourne strikes out and 1 down here in the bottom of the first.
Let's check out the Orioles defense, and they are the best in the league. Look at that, 40 errors on the season. That is the fewest in all of baseball. McLeod in left, Jones in center, Markakis in right, Machado at third, Hardy at short, Casilla at second, Davis at first, Wieters behind the plate. That's 40 errors. Think about it. That's the Indians have made 87, so they've made 47 more than the Orioles. They only have 2 errors as far as their outfielders go.
According to Stats Inc., the Orioles are the first team in Major League Baseball history to post 100 errorless games by the end of August.
Wow. That's hard to do. And, you know, they've always, back in the day when they were a very good organization, that's the one thing they did. They pitched well, and they played great defense. Well, they're not pitching as well, but I'll tell you what, they are certainly playing some defense. They're not going to give up many runs.
Well, that's such an important aspect. The Swisher just caught staring. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the game for Norris. When you limit the opposition's base runners, in other words, if you make them hit their way on, earn their way on, then you're going to give yourself a great chance. That ball's right down the middle.
Yeah, you got nothing to just window shop.
You know, if you can limit your walks and you don't commit errors,
right? Well, they got to hit their way to beat you.
That's going to make it tough on the other team.
Well, anytime if you're a pitching coach and you have a defense like that, that's what you do. You preach, please, boys, don't walk them, make them hit their way on. If they do, then they're going to beat you. You can accept that.
Yeah. Jason Kipnis. One hit in his last 10 at-bats. Ball and a strike. Up and away. Late afternoon start. We didn't have any issues with the shadows here at the ballpark earlier because the tarp was on the field. It was rainy, a little overcast, but now the sun's starting to fight its way through. Just a bit outside. 3 balls and a strike. Sky high pop, shallow right, out goes Casilla. He's calling for it, and he's got it. Indians go in order, and we go to the second, no score. McDonald's now introducing 3 exciting new quarter pounders. And by Kia. We go to the second inning. No score. It will be Matt Wieters, Nick Markakis, and J.J. Hardy due up for Baltimore. Wieters, the switch hitting catcher. He's a guy that, well, if you make a mistake in his nitro zone, he'll lean on one. He's got 19 homers, 64 driven in.
Well, he has that nitro zone is down. He's a big guy, and he likes to really get that little bit of an uppercut, and he can hit it a long way. He has good power to all fields. And what's going on here? We got the trainer and the manager coming out for Masterson. Now, I didn't see anything, and he had a look on his face like he was wondering why they're coming out, but
they're getting somebody up in the bullpen, Rick. So whatever it was, it would lead you to believe that they had prior knowledge, because they're not even wasting time getting somebody up in the bullpen. Now they're going to stay with Masterson. And we'll have to wait and see what the mystery visit was all about.
There's a fastball right there. I can't see anything there. And then all of a sudden they came out of the dugout. I didn't see anything.
Gilmet continues to get loose in the Tribe pen. Masterson lays one in there. Now that pitch was 76 miles an hour, obviously taking a little something off. We'll check the velocity and see if there's anything there that you can pick up. Missed outside.
It looked like he had better command of his slider in the first inning than he did his fastball to begin with. Hey, this guy has logged 190 innings this year.
Good fastball. sinking action, but it's taken the other way for a base hit. Well, coming into today, our Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index among the league leaders. Justin Masterson is right there. He's 4th in the league in total innings pitched.
Well, look at it. Shields always been a guy that gives you a lot of innings. That guy out in Seattle, Iwakuma's a surprise, huh? He's had a nice year.
Now, that was a four-seam fastball at 87 miles an hour, so obviously there's something wrong here because you've got Cabrera and Santana. They're both killing time, and now Cabrera's calling for Francona and Jeff Desjardins, and I got to believe that is it.
And there's got to be something wrong with him. If that's his four-seamer, Matty, at 87, 88, which is usually 94, 95. Second time in an inning, they're going to take him out just for precautions, I guarantee it. Give me the ball, see you later.
Wow. That is the absolute last thing the Indians can afford at this point in the season. But Justin Masterson, he has been that proverbial workhorse all year long. But he exits after just one inning here today. The velocity down. And they saw something. Whether it was just simply the velocity or, it's Drupal Cabrera after that last pitch. He went in to the mound. So from where he was sitting, he noticed something too. And Masterson obviously
not happy.
Not happy at all.
No, there's got to be something wrong. They had to know something.
Justin's a very kind of happy-go-lucky guy. That's the attitude he portrays. But believe me, folks, when he takes the ball, he wants to go out and give his team that 6-7 innings because he knows they're counting on him. He knows Terry Francona's counting on him. This is the last thing he wanted to see happen here today. But that is that. Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen, Preston Gilmet, when we come back. Well, that's enough to take the air out of the balloon early. The Indians ace, Justin Masterson, removed after an inning.
Well, it's frustrating is what it is because we had no idea. Never heard anything. And, if there was something wrong beforehand, maybe he was going out there with so they can keep an eye on him, but it didn't last long.
As we have been watching, though, the last couple of starts, he hasn't quite had the same velocity, hasn't been quite as sharp. Now you just figure, hey, every pitcher goes through some periods where maybe the arm doesn't feel all that great. You're trying to battle through it, and maybe it's just caught up to him.
Very well could have.
Well, you hope not. You hope it's just maybe a bad day, and maybe he can bounce back. But that's probably wishful thinking. We'll have to wait and see. And when we hear further word on Masterson, we'll get it back to you. But this was the pitch that brought Terry Francona out because it looked like a fastball. He just laid it in there, but there wasn't much on it.
Well, all right. Then he talked his way and he stayed in it, but it was shortly thereafter. Off the base hit, a little two-seamer. I mean, okay, the guy gets a base hit the other way, no big deal. And then that was it because Santana came out, Cabrera came in and said, "Come here." Now maybe the players knew something that they didn't. I don't know.
Well, as soon as Santana caught the ball, he looked to the dugout. Now, that's a four-seam fastball he's calling for, and he's used to 94, and that came in at 87 and didn't have much on it. So obviously he said, "Hey, wait a minute, something's not right here."
Well, as soon as we hear something, we'll let you know.
Keep our fingers crossed. In the meantime, it's now on Preston Guillemette for the time being. Nick Markakis, the count is already 1-0. And he lines it right back into center field, a base hit. Markakis, he didn't wait, did he? He jumped right up on it.
No reason to wait. When you get that guy coming in, you know he wants to throw a strike, and Markakis right back up the middle. Fastball, he better get the ball down already. That was just pitch number one.
Swing down low, and it's 1 ball, no strikes for J.J. Hardy. Hardy rips it left field, foul. Preston Guillemette, in his 49 appearances at AAA Columbus, had 20 saves and an ERA of 1.68. In his 5 stints with the Indians, his ERA is 5.26.
Well, he's a guy that's straight over the top, and he's not overpowering. So he has to command it. And he's going to have to throw some off-speed pitches against this Baltimore team for strikes. There was one right there.
J.J. Hardy is the only shortstop in baseball with 20 homers in each of the last 3 seasons, including this one. Boy, just missed there. Full count.
He had a big home run for him yesterday in New York. 3-run homer, just barely got over the wall. It was like that second home run of Infante's in Detroit off the glove of Brantley. His went to right field in Yankee Stadium.
Drives this one pretty well to deep left. Back is Brantley. Michael's under it. He'll make the catch, and the runners have to hold 1 down.
Well, the video game that puts you in the owner's suite is now available free on iPhone and iPad. Just build your stadium and make the decisions to guide your team to the World Series. Download MLB Ballpark Empire. It'll be free today.
Nate McLouth takes down low, ball 1. McLouth, left-handed bat. 9 homers, 26 doubles. He's driven in 27. He also has 29 steals, so he's able to give Buck Showalter a little speed when he gets aboard.
Yeah, he's given him a 26 doubles, 4 triples, 9 homers. He's been good for him.
2-1 the count. That's clobbered deep center field. Bourne a long run back. Can't make the play. Crumpled in front of the fence. Coming around third to score is Wieters. Stopping at third is Markakis. Bourne appears to be all right. He gave it a heck of an effort.
Boy, that ball was smoked, too. I thought it was going to be out of here.
It's a one-run double for Nate McLaughlin. Baltimore takes the early lead.
You know, Markakis at second base, I'd have to check him going around. He was waiting at the base. I don't know. I'm sure he tagged it, but it looked weird. He was on the inside part of it, and he never got started. That's why he had to wait, and he couldn't score. But I don't know if we have a shot of it or not, but when he was coming around second base, if he ever did touch it, looked like he wanted to go back. He thought Bourne might catch it.
Bourne so close to making a spectacular catch there, but Baltimore has the early lead now, and Alexi Casilla will be the batter. They will appeal.
That's what I'm thinking.
Got him.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's right. He didn't touch the base. That's what I was looking for. He did not touch the base. He looked like he cut back to first base and never re-tagged it going to third base. That's what I saw out there, and that's a good appeal.
Well, Mike DeMuro was right on top of it.
Somebody saw it out on the field. I'm not sure, but that's what I wanted to look at. It looked like it for me. I'm sitting back here behind home plate. What he did, he went past first, and then he cut back, to, thinking that Bourne caught the ball, and he never re-tagged the bag on his way to third base is what I saw. Now, if that's exactly what happened, I don't know, but he's out. That's a big appeal there. Get the second out of the inning.
So there will be 2 down and a runner at second base now. The putout will go to the second baseman.
1-4.
Let's see. Do we have a look on the?
I don't think we have it. But I did see him cut in front of second base. They're all asking him. They're all watching the ball to see if it was a home run. Nobody was really watching second base, but I think they made the right call. I really do. They still get the run, but that's an out.
Alexi Casilla. Out of play down the left side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick Hagedorn is up in the Indians' bullpen. This is one of those situations you never want to have to lose your starter this early in a ball game because of the strain that it can put on a bullpen, but at least in the month of September you have some reserves, you've got some extra arms to help deal with the problem. And this may be a case where Terry Francona is going to lean on a lot of those guys. Guillemette ready, the 1-2. Chopped foul, first base side. The Indians had Carlos Carrasco, who was doing a nice job in that long man role, but he won't be back until tomorrow.
No, the next day, the third. Yeah, the third.
The 1-2 pitch. Santana with a nice job to block it in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, it's safe to say when you say bullpen game here in the first game of a series, it doesn't affect it now that it's September when you have so many guys coming out of that bullpen.
Here's the 2-2. Did he go? No, says third base umpire Scott Berry. It was close. Full count. And Casilla again just Fouls it off to stay alive. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. And the inning continues. Up comes Brian Roberts. Already in this inning, we've seen the Indians starting pitcher leave.
And that run in this inning is charged to
center fielder crash into the wall and just barely miss making a terrific catch. An appeal play retires a runner for Baltimore. But they're still slugging away with 2 outs and 2 men on. Brian Roberts, who walked his first time up. Gilmet with 2 quick strikes on Brian Roberts. Now the 0-2. In the air, right center field, long run. Nobody gets it. Stubbs cutting it off, but the Orioles are going to try to score 2. 1 run is in. Both will score. 3-0 Baltimore. Brian Roberts with a 2-run double. And Preston Gilmet has not been able to come in and hold the O's down here in inning number 2.
It's not like he drove the ball to right center. It looked like it came right off the end of the bat, but he placed it perfectly. All right, they cut the ball off here, and you know what? You should have a pretty good chance at him at home plate. Again, that throw coming into Kipnis, not a good one. Because I don't even think they made a relay throw to try and get Casilla.
No. Manny Machado, the batter. Bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up.
That pitch to Roberts there also, an 0-2 pitch.
And a hard hit ball to short. Cabrera with a backhand. Nice throw. And the side is retired. But the Birds are up for 3 in the second. Of more pressing concern, Masterson leaves early. Baltimore on top 3-0. Bottom of the second inning. Orioles with a 3-0 lead. Santana, Brantley, and Cabrera due up for Cleveland. Bud Norris retired the Indians without any trouble in the first. Couple of strikeouts, a little pop-up. Ball one, it's down low to Santana. Carlos with 7 homers, 24 runs batted in his last 50 games. One ball, 2 strikes. Into the shift, Casilla from the outfield grass quickly throws him out, 1 down. The injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk Serious Lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Baltimore is relatively healthy for their stretch run. Speaking of health, even without Miguel Cabrera, the Tigers went into Boston and blanked the Red Sox today 3-0. Mentioned
Who was that,
before.
Pfister that pitched for them, I believe?
I don't know. I mentioned before New York was shutting out the White Sox, or they were tied with the Indians in that wild card hunt, and they are shutting out Chicago 9-0. The 1-1 bounced in front of the plate. Bud Norris, 2-1 pitch. Brantley fouls it out of play. Bound right back. Stays 2 balls, 2 strikes for Michael Brantley, with 1 gone here in the second inning. Right back up the middle, it's through. Brantley is aboard with 1 out here in the second for Cleveland.
Right under the glove of Norris. It looked like, from our vantage point, he was going to catch it, but he gets under the glove into center field. Base hit for Michael. Hit a little too hard. He put a glove down there, but it was by him. He came close, but once it gets by Norris, it's in to center field. So the first hit for the Indians.
And as Drupal Cabrera steps in with 1 on, 1 out, last 13 games he's batted .319. Good block by Wieters.
Wieters a big guy. He's about 6'5", but he does a nice job of blocking balls out in front of the plate, also throwing. He's one of those catchers like Sandy Alomar was, real tall.
A little bit outside. It's 2-0 for Asdrubal Cabrera. Matt Wieters, by the way, was a former first-round pick. He was the 5th overall selection in the 07 draft by Baltimore. And why not? It's 6'5", switch hitting catcher with power.
Yes.
3-0 the count here for Cabrera with Brantley aboard at first. Norris finds the zone, 3-1. Runner, I don't know, Brantley, it's ball 4. It was weird, though. He kind of took 5 steps and then just stopped.
You think he thought it was 3-2? And then maybe picked it up on the scoreboard?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. He ends up walking anyway, but he was taking off, and if that was a strike, Wieters would have had him. See, he stopped, and I think he might have finally realized it was a 3-2 or 3-1 pitch. It's the first walk for Norris.
Well, the Indians have something going here with 2 on, 1 out. Jason Giambi will be the batter. Giambi with 8 homers, 29 driven in on the season. And takes a strike just over the outside corner. Fastball inside corner. So he dotted the outside corner, ran one in under his hands on the inside corner. And he's got him down on the count 0-2.
Giambi just 1 hit away from that 2,000 hit mark. That's Norris's pitch when he has it working. He's got a very good slider.
Three 0 Orioles, bottom of the 2nd inning. The 0-2 pitch. Struck him out, 2 down. 3rd strikeout for Norris.
See, they want to slide it inside. It's a breaking ball, but it was above the zone. He might have got away with one. This was maybe too high. Giambi couldn't catch up to it. He swings through it. That was a slider above the belt. So out number 2.
That'll leave it up to Lonnie Chisenhall, who's coming off a month in which he'd just as soon forget. He hit 145 in August. Norris misses. 2-0.
Got him.
In the throw, and he is out. Unbelievable. The inning is over. Brantley picked off at second, and after 2, it's Baltimore 3, Cleveland 0. Indians pitcher today will be Nick Hagedorn. Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Hagedorn's 30th appearance of the year, his second since he got called back.
Right, he pitched in yesterday's ball game, went a third of an inning. A couple guys reached.
He's got Chris Davis to deal with. Then Adam Jones and Matt Wieters.
It's getting to that point. You start looking for the names, and you've got extra pages because of the call-ups and guys all over the place here.
Chris Davis popped up his first time up. Takes a strike. Davis and the guy behind him, Adam Jones, they are combined just 9 for their last 47 on this road trip. And it's 0-2. You mentioned, Rick, at one point Davis was up there in the batting average race.
Yeah,
he hit 211 in July, and that kind of took him out of the running there.
Yeah, he was up around 330. But you figure a guy he's still right around the 300 mark, so it's still a very good year for him. 287, the 9 home runs and the 23 RBIs. He has been, solid all year long.
The 1-2 from Hagedorn. Threw it by him. Good fastball, strikes him out, 1 away. Let's go downstairs to Katie with him. She's got the latest on the health of Corey Kluber.
Well, Corey Kluber looked and felt very good off the mound today facing live hitters. He went 4 innings, 62 pitches. He threw everything, including that curveball, which he told me he felt very good. Mickey Callaway said he was most impressed with his command. You will see him piggyback off Scott Kazmir Friday, and then imagine he will slide back into that starting rotation, Matt.
All right, thanks, Katie. And, of course, we're all waiting to hear the latest on Justin Masterson, who left this game at the outset of the second inning. Adam Jones swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Hagedorn, nice job to change the speed on Jones, and you could see he was way out in front of it. Out of play. They're giving us an update right now on the condition of Justin Masterson, saying that he left the game with soreness in his rib cage. 2 down, so
maybe that's why the velocity's down. Wasn't able to open it up and just throw the baseball like he's capable of doing.
Yeah, the soreness was not on his arm side, but on his left side. So for whatever that's worth, that's what the medical update is on Masterson. That's good. At least it's not, your elbow or shoulder on the business
side. Not your
side.
pitching arm, right?
Matt Wieters singled and scored his first time up, and he swings and misses. Popped him up. Is it playable? Swisher down the side, and this will find the seats about 4 rows back. The 0-2. Ripped foul.
Is that our man down there, Ditka? He just watched that ball. He didn't do anything.
When you're Ditka, you don't have to.
There he is. He's getting ready for football season.
You let everybody else go get it.
We got to get him a face mask, one of those defensive lineman face masks for his helmet.
Missed inside a ball and 2 strikes. He's got a whistle. He just blows a whistle and, hey, go get the ball. Let's go.
That's right. He's the head coach.
And drop down and give me 20 push-ups and get back in your seat.
He'll be looking for us tomorrow. He'll blow that whistle and tell us to come down and give him 20.
You get wind sprints, Manning. Get on the line. Swing and a miss. Nick Hackett on a good inning of relief work here in the 3rd. Strikes out a pair of birds. It's 3-0 Baltimore. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one on this Labor Day to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. 3-0 Baltimore as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Lonnie Chisenhall, Drew Stubbs, and Michael Bourne due up.
Yes, Chisenhall was at the plate when Michael Brantley was picked off second base with 2 outs.
Popped him up on the infield. Manny Machado calls for it, makes the catch, 1 down.
Well, this weekend the Mets will be in town. It'll be Dollar Dog Night and Firework Night. Fireworks presented by Wayside Furniture will be set to the rise of the FM music. All coming up Friday night.
Drew Stubbs batting .238 on the year, takes outside corner, called strike. Well, it caught the glove of Bud Norris, and it goes right to Casilla, who throws him out. 2 down. Top of the order for Michael Bourne. Bourne struck out his first and only time up today. Shows bunt, takes a strike. Another one, 0-2. They got a doozy going on down in Houston. Astros and Twins are tied 6 hits. They've combined for 23 hits.
All righty. Got to send along a belated birthday wish coming Saturday to Cheryl Billick of North Royalton, celebrating her birthday. Also her 39th wedding anniversary to Fred and Cheryl. Congratulations.
Oh-2. He lays off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Inning is over. Bud Norris has struck out 4 through the first 3 innings. 3-0 Baltimore. Three 0 Baltimore on top as we go to the 4th inning. Nick Markakis, J.J. Hardy, and Nate McLouth will be due up here for Baltimore. And one of those 3, make it 2 of those 3, will be coming to the plate this inning and not real happy. Markakis, he won't be happy because he missed second base and was called out. And Nate McLouth, who should have had an RBI double, but because Markakis missed a base, he loses basically an at-bat there. It's a fielder's choice. He gets the RBI, but he loses the hit because Markakis misses the base. Now that is not fair.
That's not fair, no, to the guy who hit the ball. Hits it off the screening in the Indians' bullpen. Came close to a home run. Okay, I'll take the double on RBI. No, you won't, because the guy in front of you missed second base. So he never really touched it. That would have allowed him to at least have a single. He still gets the RBI, right? Still gets the RBI. But it's a fielder's choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough at-bat. He won't be buying Markakis any dinner anytime soon. Well, they looked it up in the rule book, and
yeah.
You know, the Kegler, I give him credit. He's right on the line, just like at the lanes.
He's a well-oiled lane.
Yes, he is. Official scorer Bob Maver doing a wonderful job into that rule book.
I don't see why he would lose credit for the hit, though.
Because that guy on first base never touched second base.
He technically never took control of second base.
I guess so.
That's what
they said. It's a force out at second base, so that guy never reaches first.
Okay.
You know.
See, I thought, okay, now, this may be splitting hairs. I thought he touched it going around.
I did, too.
And then went back and didn't retouch it, and when he came back around again.
I did too, man. I thought he touched it, and then he tried to go back and never did. But you know what? Kipnis is the one that saw this at second base. That ball goes off the screen. Now watch Kipnis turning around. See him? Look at him. He was peeking. And now he's starting to point that, hey, he never hit the base. We'd have to ask Jason if he ever hit it the first time. I don't know if he saw him, but there's the umpire's call. And he was pointing over to the third base. It was probably, I don't know if they rotate, how the umpires rotate on a ball that was hit like that. That second base umpire probably goes out. The third base umpire goes over. First comes to home, and home goes to third on their rotation. I'm not quite sure how it works, but they had it down, and they explained it to him.
I almost get the feeling that Markakis was watching the play and never saw the base, which is why he never touched it.
Very well could be. We didn't have anything to prove it, but I did see him go around it after he thought Bourne caught it.
That's a fair ball. That's a tough break. And Hardy will stop with a single.
Would that shave the line? That was right over the base, wasn't it?
I mean, he just kind of reached out.
It ended up at foul territory, and Swisher's looking over there, but I think it went over the base fair. Terry Francona's going to come out and talk to Ted Barrett. Watch, he's late on the ball, so it's a fastball up, and he's just standing there. Let's see, down the line.
Oh, it's fair foul all the way. And then came back.
So.
Well, if you want, look at where the ball bounced originally. I think it bounced originally in foul territory. But, and then it might have come back.
Okay. Over the base you're talking about.
Yeah. That was a weird looking.
With the spin on it and
because
everything?
He was so late on it. If you take another look at it, look where the ball bounces originally. The first time it bounces, I'm not sure if it was in fair territory when it bounced. The first time, right by home plate.
All right, let's zoom in on it and see.
No, it's too late.
Yep. You're talking about right off the bat.
Yeah.
I mean, that hits there. It's a fair ball going over the base where it hits. You're talking about 10 feet out in front of home plate.
I'm not sure it was in front of home plate.
All right. Well, it was. You could see how late his swing was.
Nate McLouth with one of the longest fielder's choices in the history of baseball. A fielder's choice off the center field fence. Hagedorn tosses to first. 1-1 pitch from Hagedon is a little bit low. Boy, after all the cloud cover and the rain earlier.
I think that storm is long gone.
Yeah, there's almost no clouds left in the sky now.
Perfect. It's supposed to be nice the rest of the week, correct?
Yeah, it's supposed to be interesting. I think tomorrow the high's only like 71.
Perfect.
But it's going to warm up the rest of the week. That is hammered. Deep right field. Stubbs going to watch it leave. Nate McLouth hit one off the fence his first time up. This time he hits it over the fence. A 2-run shot, 5-0 Baltimore. Home run number 10 for McLouth.
Well, that was a no-doubter.
Yep.
He came back and was a 2-1 pitch. And check it out on our Nissan pitch tracker. It looked like it was down Broadway. And he just, oh, man, middle in. And look at Hagedon. He knows as soon as that ball, he hears the crack of the bat, that's gone. That's his 10th, McLeod. And for the Orioles, their 181st home run as a team.
In the air right field. In comes Stubbs. Makes the grab 2 down. Let's get the answer, or get the AT&T trivia question today. We'll get the answer
Unless
later.
we're going Jeopardy, man. We'll give you the answer first.
Why not? Okay, if you played 1,000 games in the outfield for the Tribe, who has the best fielding percentage? I know.
1,000 games.
I know.
Good question. I don't know.
I got the answer. Stick around. I'll give
Were
it to you later.
Well, I'm going to stick around. Were you part of the question?
I thought you might want to leave after that. Strike is called to Brian Roberts. No, I was not privy to the decision-making process on this one. Brian Roberts drove in a pair in the second inning. One ball, one strike. Hagedon, the left-hander, got the left-handed hitting Chris Davis. He got the left-handed hitting Nick Markakis. But the left-handed hitting Nate McLouth took him out for a 2-run homer to extend Baltimore's lead. Brian Shaw now up in the Tribe pen. Swung on and missed. The inning is over. Baltimore tacks on 2, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. 5-0 Birds. Birthday boy here at Progressive Field.
There's Lucille.
Yeah.
Look at it. They were telling me all those stories where Gary was trying to get something going.
Well, he was trying to get some explosives in the cake to make it blow up.
Look at you. You're hooting on him. Look at you.
What happened?
Annette right there, she brought it in. She said, Gary's trying to get me to write all sorts of crazy numbers on this cake, but I didn't because I'm a nice girl. And there's Gary. Uh-huh.
It's just a number after a while.
Well, thank you. What number?
Happy birthday.
No big deal. Nothing but a thing. I got to leave now, though.
Go ahead.
Got to go to the restroom.
Go right ahead. Home half of the fourth, Nick Swisher to lead it off. Then Jason Kipnis and Carlos Santana. Shift on. 1 out. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt. Birthday boy Rick. Let's take you out to Oakland. The A's taking on the Rangers, and Oakland out to an early lead thanks in part to Yoenis Cespedes, his 21st homer of the year. They lead 2-0. It's now the 5th inning at the Coliseum. Guys.
Thanks, Al. He's got to come by and get a piece of cake.
It's a piece of cake. What are you going to do?
Piece of cake and a Fresca.
There's a strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jason popped up on the infield his first time up. And he strikes out. That's 5 now for Norris. 2 down in the inning. Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com. Ohio State football press conference notes, Columbus Crew coaching moves, and a Q&A with the Blue Jackets big free agent signing. It's all on FoxSportsOhio.com. Six in a row set down by the Baltimore right-hander. The Indians have just 1 hit so far. Second baseman Alexi Casilla, a little trouble with it. Flips it out of the glove, and the inning is over. 7 pitches. The Indians go 1, 2, 3. And we'll go to the 5th. 5-0 Baltimore. Ball is brought to you by the wireless receiver only from AT&T Uverse. Rethink possible. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. $5-0 Baltimore.
Brian Shaw.
Yeah, he's the fourth Indians pitcher to work already today.
Well, you had a feeling it was going to be a bullpen day. Masterson goes out after 1 inning. Soreness in his side is what they say. So Brian Shaw coming on now. Hagedorn ended up going 2 innings, gave up a couple of runs on the 2-run home run, struck out 3.
Manny Machado 0 for 2. Machado, a fielder's choice, bounced into it in the first inning and then grounded to short in the second.
This is a guy, if you remember the first time when we were in Baltimore, he ended up, remember how he jumped out of the box as far as the doubles go? He had like 39 doubles so early. Everybody was talking about him breaking a record.
He's 0 for 3 here so far tonight. Our great clip of the game from yesterday, Danny Salazar. Solid performance against that Tigers group in Motown. All in all, Salazar went 6 innings, 6 hits, no runs, didn't walk about or struck out 5. Great clips. It's going to be great. Chris Davis 0 for 2 on the day. Inside, he missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Down in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. Little broken bat flare.
That's strength right there.
In the left field, yeah.
He was sawed off and jammed, but still strong enough to fight it off over the head of Chisenhall, who, when they had the shift on, he was playing shortstop. And I mean, this ball ate him up, that little cutter inside down on the trademark, and he fights it off, gets a base hit. So he is 1 for 3 today. 6th hit now for the Orioles.
Up comes Adam Jones, 0 for 2. A little bit high with a heater.
Well, look at something here. Oh, yeah. Jones already 18 walks this year.
To third, Chisenhall goes to second. There's 1. Kipnis to first. Not in time. Tell you what, give Chris Davis credit. He got down to second base and he got on top of Jason Kipnis. And that might have taken just enough off the throw to enable Jones to beat it out. Take another look.
Let's check it out. It's hit hard. He took that little hop right there. That slowed it down. Then Kipnis stayed behind the bag. He didn't get anything on the throw. So that allows Jones to get down and beat it up. Or beat it out. That's one where you've got to get it to him in a hurry when you go 5-4-3. And Kipnis stayed behind the bag and didn't get a lot on the throw.
Matt Wieters, 1 out of 2. Singleton scored in the second, struck out his last time up. little bit inside, ball one. Up and away. 2 balls, no strikes. I'll make it 3-0. Three balls and a strike with Adam Jones at first base. And the Orioles leading at 5-0 here in the 5th. That went off of his foot. Otherwise, that's going to be an inning ender.
Right off the front foot. Keep your eye on his toe. He was hobbling. Ooh. It's the last thing catchers need. They get beat up enough back there behind the plate without doing it to themselves.
Jones takes off. Payoff pitch. Lined into center. A base hit. On his way to third goes Adam Jones. He'll stop there. Wieters with his second hit of the game. Cabrera gave it a nice effort. Just hit too hard to try and stop it on its way up the middle.
He got up on top of that ball. That was about belled high and put a good swing on it. And you could see the shadows out there. Tough to pick up the baseball just from our vantage point here on camera. But he hit it right back up the middle. So they will first and third him now with 2 outs. And it'll give Markakis an opportunity.
He's 1 for 2 with a base hit back in the second. No balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. The inning is over. Scoreless inning of relief work for Brian Shaw. 5-0 Baltimore.
Bring the whole family out to the ballpark each and every Sunday home game. And kids' fun day, and they have a great time. Plenty of activities out on the plaza. They get to run the bases after the ball game. It is presented by Cleveland Clinic. So come on out. The Mets will be in this Sunday. That'll be their getaway day, the third and final game of that series. Log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
There's a fantasy camper right there. That's Rick. Oh, boy.
Okay. I
blanked out.
I know the faces. I can't tell the names. He's got a beard. That's different.
He's going undercover on us today.
Yes, he is. He's going CIA. You'll think of it. Very good. Nate'll be proud of you if he's watching.
Michael Brantley, a base hit, his first time up. It's the only hit for the Indians thus far in the game. Bud Norris has walked 1, struck out 5. It would be real easy to look at this game and say, well, Justin Masterson's departure early has had an impact on the team overall, but this is a team that offensively now for the last 10 games or so just hasn't been able to score. Check out Fox Sports Live as Jay Onright and Dan O'Toole are joined by a host of characters. Donovan McNabb, Gary Payton, Andy Roddick, Carissa Thompson. They're all there to bring you everything you need to know about the world of sports. It's Fox Sports Live, and it airs nightly on Fox Sports 1. It was Drupal Cabrera, drew a walk. His only time up. Back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on and missed. And that's a half dozen strikeouts for Bud Norris.
Well, he's coming in. I told you he's got a pretty good slider, but he has a 2-seamer as well. There's a straight 4-seamer that Swisher just didn't pull the trigger on. There's the breaking ball. He gets Giambi. Another slider, goes straight down. Gets Bourne. Kipnis. And then he just retired Cabrera. All 6 strikeouts. Has walked 1. That came back in the second inning.
Found him right back. Giambi with a good cut at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. way outside. Swung and missed at a good fastball on the outside corner, and now 7 strikeouts for Bud Norris. Week 2 of the high school football season is this Thursday night on Fox Sports Ohio. Massillon will host the Glen Oak Eagles in the Stark County Showdown. Join Jeff Phelps and Frank Stams at 7:30 Thursday on Fox Sports Ohio. The Indians go back to the bullpen, and we'll see the Indians' debut of Blake Wood. After rehabbing from elbow surgery, spent the year AAA Columbus. He's got the bottom third of the Baltimore Oriole offense to deal with here. But the bottom third of this order has already accounted for 4 runs in the game. And the Orioles have scored only 5 on the day. So these are the guys: Hardy, who singled and scored; Nate McClough, who's hit a 2-run homer and scored twice; and Alexei Casilla, who walked and scored back in the second. J.J. Hardy takes a strike. Back out of play. Blake Wood delivers, and it's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mentioned earlier, they had a doozy going on down in Houston between the Twins and the Astros. They were tied 6-6. Yesterday, the Indians got the grand slam in the top of the ninth to win in Detroit. Chris Colabello with a grand slam in the top of the ninth for Minnesota. And they beat the Astros 10-6 in that game. Leadoff walk for J.J. Hardy. He trots down to first, and we'll look at the recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Nate McLeod. This was an odd play. It was ruled a fielder's choice and an RBI because of the subsequent appeal play. But the O's were off and running. Roberts with a 2-run double made it 3-zip, and then Nate McLeod clobbered a 2-run homer to make it 5-0. And that is where we stand at the moment. Low and away. Brief conversation. Good pitch. Fastball in there for a strike, and you see Blake Wood can rush it up there 96 miles an hour. In the air, left field over near the line. Brantley, a long gallop. He's there to make the grab. One away. That'll bring up Alexei Casilla. Blake Wood is the product of a Major League Baseball process that I'm not sure when it really began, where essentially you as a team will take a chance on a guy who you know is not really going to be able to pitch or help you that much. You're going to spend the year essentially rehabilitating him and kind of see what happens.
Well, they obviously had to know something about him prior to that. With Kansas City, I remember him with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, let's see, take a look at his numbers. 2011, he pitched to 69 2/3 innings. Had a 3.75 ERA. 49 2/3 innings the year before that in the big leagues. 5.07 ERA, but no, I'm sure there was a time, Rick, where if you were hurt, nobody even gave you the time of day. They'd say, call us back when you're healthy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's true. Now there are teams that will take a chance with a guy. They'll rehab him for a year, send him out to their complex, and, hopes that everything comes out all right, but makes his second walk in the inning.
2 on, 1 out. Brian Roberts coming up. Roberts is 1 for 2 on the day. He's walked, doubled in a couple of runs, and struck out. Pitch is in there for a strike. A little bit low and away. See, he's got the good fastball when he can rear back and fire it in the strike zone or at least locate it. It's good enough to throw it by people.
Well, the thing of it is when you come back off of surgery is that, the strength of that pitch or your fastball comes back. It's now command of that pitch. And we could see he can throw it hard. Now it's a matter, can he locate it when he wants to throw it at 95, 96?
That went up to 98, but it's fouled back. 1-2, the count here for Brian Roberts. Back out of play. Sometimes with these injury rehab situations, you may spend the year rehabbing a player and not get the benefit of the product thereafter. One of the first examples I remember of that was, and I don't remember the year, but it had to be in the 90s, I'm guessing. Might have been early 2000s, but Real Cormier. The Indians spent an entire year essentially rehabilitating him, and I don't believe he ever pitched in a game with the Indians, and then he ended up signing with Boston, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little risk on the club standpoint, too. It's not a guarantee that he's going to say, thanks for rehabbing me, I'll sign with you next year.
That's true.
But generally, that's kind of the unwritten agreement. If you take a chance on me and help me rehabilitate,
Well, you would think somebody would be, loyal enough to say, let's go. I'll come back with you. Give it a shot. You took the time.
Two-two pitch, fouled right back. Two on, one out. As Buck Showalter looks on, his club in command 5-0. Fouled right back. This will already be the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up here. Two. Hit to right field. Stubbs moving over, makes the catch. The runners will have to hold 2 down. Let's go downstairs and see what Katie Witham has for us.
Well, Matt, you still have time to get tickets for this Saturday's game, and make sure you do. It's a 6:05 start against the Mets. Get here early because the first 10,000 fans through the gates will take home a Michael Bourne replica jersey, courtesy of Meritech. And afterwards, we're going to have fireworks thanks to the Brilliant Electric Sign Company. Get your tickets now at Indians.com.
All right, thanks, Katie. 2 on, 2 out. Manny Machado will be the batter. He is 0 for 3 on the day. High fastball. 2-0 the count. Down the right field line, slicing, foul. for guys like Blake Wood and for Josh Tomlin. All that hard work starting to pay off. But really next year, the season that both of those guys are looking forward to, where they won't have to spend the offseason worrying about the long hours of isolation and rehab and being away from your teammates. Both of those guys will head to spring training next year with the guys just like old times.
Raring to go.
The 2-2. And a full count now. We'll have to wait and see, Rick, obviously, how Justin Masterson responds. But if he's unable to maybe make his next start, that possibly could be a spot where Josh Tomlin gets an opportunity to start. Runners go. Ball bounced to short. Hopefully Masterson's A-OK, but we'll have to obviously wait and see how that plays out. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. It's Baltimore 5, Cleveland nothing.
The action for the Indians and no base runners.
Yeah, they've only had one hit. That was in the 2nd.
They got to get some base runners, make some left turns, and wake the kids up.
Well, Bud Norris has taken care of that. He's retired 10 in a row. He has struck out 7, and what a season high is 8.
Yeah, and that was against his former team in his first start for the Orioles.
Isn't that something? He's traded to Baltimore, and the very next day he starts against the team that traded him. He has struck out 7 in 3 straight outings. Lonnie Chisenhall lifts one down the left field line. It is a fair ball into the corner. McClough tries to dig it out, but Chisenhall's into second base with a leadoff double, and that snaps a string of 10 in a row retired by the Orioles right-hander.
15th double for Chisenhall. He gets that little two-seam fastball out over the plate and stayed on it. It stays fair down into the corner, so he gets on second. Leadoff double, just the second hit for the Tribe. See if they can string a few together.
Drew Stubbs grounded out his first time up. Popped him up, and this is playable here. The first baseman, Davis. One away. Let's get the answer to the AT&T trivia question. 1,000 games played, highest career fielding percentage. The birthday man himself.
Mr. Proctor must have been digging deep in the archives. Going there. 986 in 1,000 games.
What happened to the other 14% there?
Well, you remember old Cleveland Stadium and the outfield that used to go like that?
Michael Bourne drives one to right field, but it's caught by Markakis. Chisenhall will tag and go to third. A couple of bad hops out there is what you're saying?
There was a few. But they said never bad hops in the air. That's why you go to become an outfielder.
One of 5 to play center field for the Indians, 1,000 games or more. Tris Speaker, Earl Averill, Kenny, Larry Doby.
There's a crooked C, like.
I love it. Love that hat.
Yeah. All right, that's enough. See you next year.
Hank the Crank, even on his birthday.
You got to stay consistent in this game, my friend.
Nick Swisher 0 for 2 on the day. Loop to center. But right there to catch it is Jones, and the inning is over. 6 in the books. Baltimore 5, Cleveland nothing. $18 locations in Northeast Ohio, and by Levin. Get a look in at Progressive Field from our Panini Cam, brought to you by Panini's Bar and Grill. 5-0 Baltimore. As we go now to the 7th inning. And for the Indians, they'll call on Clay Rapata. Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Sixth Indians pitcher to work today, and the left-hander spent the year at AAA Columbus. Well, part of the year anyway. Spent part of the year with the Scranton Wilkes-Barre bunch in the Yankees system. Pitch outside. Rapata was signed by the Indians on June 14th after New York released him. You can tell with that left-handed delivery, it can be difficult to pick up for left-handed hitters.
Well, just a funky arm angle coming from the left side. Doesn't throw very hard, 86, maybe 87.
Three balls, no strikes. Rapata originally began his career with the Chicago Cubs, a non-drafted free agent. And he walks the first man he faces on 4 pitches.
It's not a way to endear yourself to a manager.
Rapata has spent time in the big leagues with the Cubs, the Tigers, the Rangers, these Orioles 2 years ago, the Yankees last season, and now the Indians. Down low. Looking for that elusive first strike. Two and 0, and out goes Santana. The way I understand it, he was more of a traditional pitcher when he was in college. And then occasionally he would drop that arm angle down just to try to fool a hitter. He said, I'd do it because a guy was fouling off pitches, and then I'd just drop down to the side, and really make him look bad. Well, you can imagine if a guy's pitching normal and then all of a sudden drops that funky sidearm delivery on.
Only shows it to you once in a while. They do that. But then, with left-handers, they start doing a lot of things different when they lose their fastball. It's like right-handers go to that knuckleball. Mm-hmm. You lose your fastball. It happens. You've got to come up with a gimmick or a trick if you're not overpowering.
Right now, he's just got to come up with a gimmick to throw a strike.
Well, that would help. That's, I think, first gimmick.
There we go. 3-1. He walked back-to-back hitters here in the 7th inning, so the Orioles have 2 on with nobody out.
Well, Friday night, the Mets will be in town. It'll be fireworks. It'll be dollar dogs over the weekend, so come on out. Dogs all game long, $1, and the fireworks presented by Wayside Furniture will be set to the rise of FM music. Go to Indians.com for your tickets.
Mickey Callaway out for a brief chat, and Matt Wieters is coming up. He is 2 for 3 on the day, a couple of singles and a run scored. Ball 1, it's down low. Spun him around as that pitch went up and in, and it's 2-0. He's missed on 10 out of 11. And the Virginia native delivers in for a strike. Now Matt Albers in the Tribe bullpen. Bounced foul, third base side. A 2-2 count. There's Albers getting up in the Tribe pen. He just now started to throw. Man, that's ripped down the left field line, but foul. So it stays 2-2. Another foul ball down that left side. Tell you one thing you don't want to do when you're playing Baltimore. Same thing really goes for the Indians. These are the top two teams in Major League Baseball that when you walk the leadoff man, they come around to score. Baltimore has gotten them home 44% of the time. The Indians right behind them at 43%. And, of course, Rapata walked the first two to start the inning. Well, and there's a line drive base hit to left field. Brantley up with it. They will stop the runner at third. That's big Chris Davis. And the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Well, this is but you see, Baltimore's the team. That's how they get their rallies going. They have a tough time manufacturing a lot of runs, but if you walk them, they can hit a lot of home runs. They lead the league in that department, and they can score that way. The Indians, that's how they get their rallies going. A lot is by the walks. If you don't walk a lot of these Indians hitters, then you've got a good chance of getting through that inning.
That's how they won the game yesterday.
That's exactly right. 3 walks in the 9th inning, and then you hit a big fly, and it took care of 4 runs.
Well, lefty-lefty matchup here as Nick Markakis stands in. 1 for 3 on the day. Ball one outside.
This guy's afraid to even throw strikes. I mean, come on. If you're going to get hit, at least throw strikes. Don't walk everybody. You fall behind, and then you have to throw one down the middle. There is nothing worse than a guy coming out and nibbling.
Well, that's popped up on the infield. Chisenhall near the bag. Infield fly rule called as he goes into foul ground to make the grab. 1 away. And that's going to be it for Clay Rapata. So his Indians debut, a little rocky, to say the least. 2 walks, a hit. He does get it out. And we've got a timeout with Baltimore leading at 5-0. 3-0. And as we go to the bullpen once again, it is Matt Albers. Oh, there you go. Up on the scoreboard now.
Man, enough, guys. Come on.
I think you need to stand up and take a bow.
Yeah.
I'll wave to all your fans out there.
Enough. Come on, next year, will you, please?
Next year's a big one.
Come on, we're getting it handed to us.
Next year, we're bringing in dancing girls, a little piano player.
Should have done it this year. We're down 5-0. We have time.
Well,
I can hear somebody laughing back in the background, back in that studio. They're all chuckling.
Matt Albers, 46th appearance of the year. This is no joke. He's on with the bases loaded and 1 out. And the Indians can ill afford to fall any further behind. So a tough spot here as J.J. Hardy takes outside. Hardy, 1 for 2, singled and scored in the 4th. And a called strike. 1-1. To third. Chisenhall to second. There's one on the first. Double play. Matt Albers to the rescue. The Tribe turns 2. And we've reached the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Life is hard. Buying a car shouldn't be. Five 0 Orioles lead it.
Well, Bud Norris still in the game. He has pitched a gem, 6 innings, 2 hits. He struck out 7 and walked just 1. He has made it look easy today. What do we need? Should I fix the rabbit ears to your set?
He's made it look a lot easier than this monitor looks, let me put it that way.
Here, I'll share mine with you.
It is like rabbit ears. Remember when you had the ghosting?
Hold on. We'll have Tommy hold them and we'll make a move.
Whatever.
Get the aluminum foil out.
Jason Kipnis is 0 for 2 on the day. He's popped up, struck out. Bud Norris has thrown 70% of his pitches for strikes. And he has just been lights out in the first time he has ever faced the Indians. Kipnis drives one deep center field. Adam Jones on a dead sprint. He's out of room. It's out of here. Jason Kipnis with home run number 17 on the season. His 76th run batted in. And the Indians get on the board here in the 7th inning. And they trail it now 5-1.
Well, Kipnis is going to get on top of a high heater right here. Fastball, middle of the plate. And he knew he hit it well. They took advantage of it. That ball stayed middle. A lot of times it's been running away, and you can see it right center field. Couple of rows deep. 17th home run for Kipnis. The Indians are on the board. And I'll tell you, Albers came in and got that one-pitch double play ball. And that's big because it kept it a 5-1 ball game. Down to 9 outs, so they've got to go. Down 4 now.
"76 runs batted in for Jason Kipnis, ties his career high. Santana grounds it to first. One away here in the 7th inning. Miller time on this date in 2006. Kevin Kuzminoff in his first major league at bat, a grand slam home run.
Yeah, I remember that. Edison Volquez, first pitch, filling in for Hafner. His family just made it into the ballpark that day, right? And able to see it. That was the year that they had, 13 grand slams on the year as a team.
That was the year Hafner had the unbelievable season.
Right.
And then he got hurt, and that's how Kuzminoff got his opportunity. By the way, that home run for Kipnis gives him 51 extra base hits on the season, one more than his teammate Carlos Santana. In fact, if you look at the numbers for Kipnis and Santana across the board, in terms of the homers, doubles, triples, almost identical. But Jason has 16 more runs batted in. And Michael Brantley delivers a base hit into right field. So the Indians, who had just 2 hits through the first 6 innings, have 2 here in the 7th.
So that third time through, they're able to do a little bit of damage here. Michael Brantley gets on a fastball. He ends up pulling it in the hole. He's 2 for 3 today.
As Dribble Cabrera walked in the 2nd, struck out his last time up. Back out of play. Upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Activity in that Baltimore bullpen now for the first time today as Norris just over 80 pitches on the day. I don't know if he's already ready to go or if he's just waiting to get loose. Cabrera, meanwhile, banged that down off of his leg. Right off the top of that padding. Cabrera appears to have trouble putting pressure on that right leg.
It was above the padding, I believe, where it got him. So it's just going to be sore. He's just going to stand out there and talk to himself for a little while until he can get back in and get some feeling in his leg. Not much you can say.
All right, he climbs back in. Brantley takes his lead at first. And Cabrera strikes out. 2 down. That's 8 strikeouts. Matches a season high for Norris. And up comes Jason Giambi.
For Norris, his career high in strikeouts, 14, coming against Pittsburgh back in August of 2010. But he's had quite a few swings and misses today.
Throwing it by him. And the count, 0-2. Oh, good throw. Down in the dirt, dug out by Davis, and it was right there, but Brantley got back ahead of the tag.
Well, he already got Michael off of second base back in the second inning. Picked him off with a throw.
And the 0-2 hit deep down the right field line, but it will hook foul. Boy, he hit that a long way. You know, a lot of times you'll see a foul ball down the line just kind of drift off. That thing was really scorched.
Well, not where he wanted an 0-2 pitch, I guarantee it. Look at that, 0-2, and that was right down there low and in. Norris has had 8 0-2 counts, or 1-2 on the afternoon. The Indians 0 for 8 with 7 strikeouts.
Back out of play. Weeder's going to go out, chat with Morse about the strategy here with Giambi down on the count 0-2. He hit one about a mile foul down the right side. They've had success with the fastball away, which is probably the way he wants to go here. The question is, on his 90th pitch of the afternoon, can he command it where he wants to? Because if he misses over the plate toward the inner half, that's where Giambi can still do damage. Up and away with it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled away. The 1-2 coming. Grounded to first. Davis backhands it. Inning over. The home run by Kipnis gets the Tribe on the board. They trail 5-1 as we go to the 8th. And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. The Orioles lead at 5-1 as we roll on to the 8th inning. Nate McLouth, Alexei Casilla, Brian Roberts due up for the Birds. Roberts takes a strike. McLouth takes a strike. Roberts due up third. McLouth with 3 runs batted in the ballgame. A 2-run homer in the 4th.
Got robbed of a base hit back in the 2nd with that.
The scorer's decision.
Yeah,
the
appeal
rules.
Play.
Yeah. Strange one. And McLouth's got another base hit. This one into right field. In-game box score brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. And you talk about Baltimore today, it's the bottom part of the lineup that has created the opportunities. Hardy scored a run. McLouth scored 2. Casillas scored a run. Brian Roberts had the 2-run double that was big in that 2nd inning, and that was a weird one because it didn't really travel that far. I mean, you don't see many 2-run doubles. Wow. How about that for an Adam Bull? Double play on the liner to first. That double that Roberts hit, though, was a seeing eye 2-run double if you've ever seen one. This was nothing anybody could do.
No. Right into the tracks. Catch it, step on first, take 2.
Down low, ball 1. Two and one to count. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down, and the base is empty now here in the 8th inning. Right back. Stays 2-2. First of 3 games this week between the Indians and the Orioles here at Progressive Field. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, both 7:05 starts. Ubaldo Jimenez, Chris Tillman, the matchup tomorrow. Down on the dirt. If you missed it earlier, Justin Masterson started today, but he left after just 1 batter in the 2nd inning. The velocity was definitely down, and it was revealed later that Masterson had soreness in the rib cage on the left side of his body. So we'll wait and see how that affects him going forward. Bounced in the hole. Swisher cuts it off. Nice feed to Albers on the move. And the inning is over. We'll go to the bottom half of the 8th, 5-1 Orioles. Top 5-1. Bud Norris went 7 innings, gave up 1 run on just 4 hits. He'll give way to Tommy Hunter. The right-hander on. For Baltimore here in the 8th inning, it'll be Chisenhall, Stubbs, and Bourne for the Indians. Lonnie Chisenhall is 1 for 2. He doubled in the 6th inning. And he goes after the first pitch, fouls it out of play.
Nice one-handed catch by a fan. Look at, he's getting 5s from the guys sitting around him. Nice job. There's an usher.
The 1-2 downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jason Kubel will bat for Drew Stubbs. Driven deep down the right side. Will it stay fair? It is. Gone, a home run. Lonnie Chisenhall with his 9th home run of the year. The Indians' 2nd solo shot of the game. And the Tribe cuts the gap now to 5-2.
How about the 7th and the 8th inning? Solo home runs to lead the inning off. Kipnis his 17th. Now Chisenhall his 9th. This will be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Watch this. Another breaking ball. It's about the same spot that he hit his last home run. It was in Atlanta with the pinch hit. It was a breaking ball down and in. This one goes off the foul pole. And on the foul side of the foul pole, too, I might add. Catches the outside part of it. And it's a fair ball. It makes it a 5-2 game.
Now Jason Kubel pinch hitting. And he goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. That ball hit 99 on the radar gun. Back out of play. That gives the Indians 10 players with 9 or more home runs now. That's the most in the majors. Just foul, first base side. Kubel sends the 0-2 pitch out of play. This is his 4th at bat since being acquired by the Indians from Minnesota or from Arizona. Outside.
Well, you see him in this uniform. He looks like he's with Minnesota.
It's all you can think about is the long time he spent with the Twins playing against the Indians.
Yeah, they faced him many years.
That's going to go fouling out of play again. Had a tremendous first year with Arizona. 30 home runs, 90 driven in. This year, his season just derailed by injuries, and then when he was healthy, a glut of outfielders, no DH in the National League, so he just never got untracked. 1-2 pitch. Out of play again. And just how effective he can be even for the Indians is anybody's guess, because it's not like he's going to be just plunked into the lineup and going to start playing every day. Good at bat going here, though. Tommy Hunter finally gets him. 1 down. Top of the order, Michael Bourne coming up. Revisiting our keys to the game, brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital. The Indians wanted to try to keep the Orioles in the park. That 2-run homer now really looks large for Baltimore. And the Indians unable to muster anything offensively until the 2 solo homers here in the last 2 innings.
Well, the thing of it is, and we have talked about it a number of times before, when you talk solo home runs, they're not rallies. You know, you get one, the guy makes a mistake, the guy hits out of the ballpark. As a pitcher, you say, okay, fine, I made a mistake, he put one on the board. But it's not the consecutive hits and getting it going and getting the crowd into it.
Pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike. Curveball hung high. 3-1. Fastball right at the bottom of the zone. Full count. And a routine bouncer to second base. 2 away. Stay tuned for Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Comes your way next here on Sports Time Ohio. The highlights, analysis, everything you need to know about today's game straight ahead. One thing you should know, as the Indians trail at 5-2, looking ahead to that 9th inning, the Orioles have the American League's top closer in terms of saves, Jim Johnson. He's got 41. Tommy Hunter's throwing some BBs here, though, in this inning. He's hit 97, 98. Lonnie Chisenhall took him deep for the home run. There's a long fly ball to left field. Back is McLeod on the move. He'll make the catch. And the inning is over. 8 complete. The Orioles 5, the Indians 2.
Today is Browns night on Sports Time Ohio. Andre Knott and Mary Kay Cabot take your calls on Browns Red Zone. That's presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, starting at 8 o'clock. And stay tuned for the debut of Browns Insider with head coach Rob Chudzinski right here at 10 on the cable home of the Cleveland Browns, Sports Time Ohio. All right. Mark Zubchinski coming into the ball game for the Indians for the 14th time. He's done a nice job since they have acquired him. And Kubel will remain in the game in right field. He pinch hit for Stubbs, so he'll be behind him out there. Going into the 9th inning.
Manny Machado, Chris Davis, and Adam Jones due up here for Baltimore. Chop to third. It's by Chisenhall.
That had a lot of topspin to it. He really chopped down on that baseball, and after that one hop, it gets by Chisenhall. Watch the spin on the ball after it hits the dirt for the second time, and by him. See that thing?
Yeah.
It's like a super ball when it took off. That's hit number, I got 11. Scoreboard has 10. Oh, that's right. McLeod. They changed it. I didn't change it. So it is 10. Tommy gave me that.
Michael Brantley makes the catch. One away. You are incorrect, sir. If you missed it earlier, Justin Masterson came out of the game early. One batter into the second inning. He gave up a single to Matt Wieters, threw one pitch to the second batter, and that was it. His day was over. They looked around and said, hey, something's not right here. His velocity was 87 miles an hour. And
when he came out of that game, Preston Guillemette came in, and that run that scored is Masterson's that was on first base, and he is on the hook here. He could possibly get the loss in this ball game. Unless the Indians come back in the ninth.
Adam Jones has walked 0 for 3 on the day. Zapchinski delivers, and Jones chased one in the dirt. 0-2. Almost chased after it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Look at this from the side. I think he was able to check it. He wanted to get after it, though. This is a guy that likes to swing the bat.
Talked about Masterson being on the hook for the loss potentially here today. He was looking for his 15th win of the year. Tomorrow for Baltimore, Chris Tillman will get the start. He's looking for his 16th win of the season. The last Oriole to win 16 games as a starter was Mike Mussina in 1999.
Wow.
So
really? You got to go back that far, huh?
They've gone a long time between 16 game winners. And he was an 18 game winner that year in 99 for Baltimore. Pitch outside, full count. You know, another weird stat. The Orioles have hit 1 home run. They've given up 2. They began the day with the lead in hitting homers and giving up homers. And the last team to do that was the 1950 Brooklyn Dodgers. The lead in both those categories. But they play in a park where you could see that happening, obviously. Bourne dashing in to make the grab, 2 down. And you can hit a bunch there.
Yes.
You can give up a bunch there in Camden Yards.
Absolutely true.
Orioles have hit 181 home runs as a team. They've given up now 173. But as we told you earlier, they don't give you extra outs because of their defense. They've only committed to 40 errors, so you limit your walks, and you hold those homers to solo shots or the ones that don't just kill you.
Don't give up the 3 runners, and you got a pretty good chance if you don't allow a lot of base runners.
And that's why Baltimore, like the Indians, still hanging around. Outside 3-0. Looks like he's just kind of working around Wieters with the left-handed hitting Markakis on deck. But that time he went at him, and Wieters 3-0. He was turning it loose.
Well, why not? You've got a 3-run lead. You figure you're going to get a fastball. Go ahead and swing it. Sometimes that may be the best pitch you get.
(3-1) hits down the right field line. This is shooting out of here in a hurry, and it is long gone. So he fell behind him, and instead of working around him, he pitched to him, and he took him deep. And the Orioles have hit their second home run of the day. And for Matt Wieters, his 20th on the season, and it's his 4th hit of the game. And the Orioles now really in command, 7-2.
Well, when you see the big guy, you see his power. It's a fastball up and away, but he stayed on it nicely. And he lets that ball track deeper into the zone. And, I mean, he smoked it to right field. That ball didn't just make it. That had plenty of distance.
Yeah, it did.
Going the opposite way. A big, strong guy. Another 2-run home run. That makes it a 7-2 Orioles lead.
So the O's have hit 2. They've given up 2. But the 2 they've hit have driven in 4 against 2 solo shots for the Tribe. And Baltimore leads at 7-2. Stay tuned for Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Comes your way next here on Sports Time Ohio. We'll recap the ball game, wrap it up, get you ready for tomorrow's Game 2 of this 3-game series. Brian Mattis coming on now, the left-hander, former starter. Now working out of the Baltimore bullpen.
Yeah, this went from a save to with that 2-run home run. Okay, now you just got to get the last 3 outs. So Brian Mattis will have that opportunity. He's turned into a left-handed specialist out of that bullpen. Who, you know, they tried to start him. They thought he had a lot of talent earlier, but like a lot of pitchers, maybe a little short in the starting department, and go out into the bullpen and go through an inning or two, and you can have success. So the Indians today with 2 runs on 5 hits. Baltimore has had 7 runs on 11 hits.
Fastball up high. Kipnis in the air to center field, and Adam Jones back a few steps to grab it, 1 away. Carlos Santana 0 for 3 on the day, steps in. Brian Mattis was a former first-round pick of Baltimore back in 2008. Went to the University of San Diego, but he was born in Cave Creek, Arizona.
Oh, yeah?
Did you ever have an Ed's Cave Creek chili beer by any chance?
No, I can't say that I have.
It's a beer where there's a little chili pepper in the bottle of the beer.
And you've had one?
It's like pure fire, liquid fire.
I'll bet Brian Mattis has had one.
You would think so, right?
Being from Cave Creek, absolutely.
Now that he's a first-round pick, he's moved up a little bit. He's a Paradise Valley guy.
Well, doesn't surprise you.
Went to high school, though, in Cave Creek, and that's where he started drawing the interest of Major League Baseball teams. Was drafted out of high school, but turned down his first chance to play professionally and went to the University of San Diego. And that's when Baltimore got him in 2008. After the Angels drafted him in 2005 out of high school, and he passed. Upstairs with it, full count. Swung on and missed. Strikes him out, 2 down. Brian Mattis is one of those guys, too, Rick. I think when the Orioles drafted him, it was a primary objective to get him to the big leagues as quick as possible. So they signed him in 2008, and the very next year he was in the big leagues. Went 5-2 in 2009 with Baltimore and got his first major league win in his major league debut against the Tigers at Comerica Park.
I remember when we went out there and he first came up, Jim Palmer talking to me about this kid. You know, he liked his stuff and everything. He said, you know, maybe he was a little too young at the start, being the #1 pick.
That's a gap shot all the way to the wall. And Michael Brantley's headed towards second base with a 2-out double. So Brantley into scoring position with 2 gone here in the ninth.
He got a fastball middle in, drives it the other way. Brantley with 3 hits today. He has half of the Indians' hits. This one being a double for Michael, number 23, so it keeps it going, gives Cabrera a chance.
As Dribble Cabrera walked in the second, he has struck out both times since. Low and away, ball 2. Buck Showalter looking on, the 2-0 delivery coming up. Cabrera fouls it back. Now the 2-1 upstairs. Now I mentioned before, Rick, that Baltimore signed him and they made an objective to get him to the big leagues as quickly as possible. The reason is the same situation the Indians had with Jeremy Guthrie. When they signed him to a major league contract. So it's one of those deals where it's kind of a good deal for the player, but it's maybe not the best thing for his development, though.
That could be. You're right.
Mattis has come back to run it to a full count on his Dribble Cabrera. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Brantley at second base. Tribe needs some base runners here in the ninth. Mattis deals, and he strikes him out to end the game. So the Indians' woes continue. They fall here at home by a final score of 7-2.